Okay guys, welcome back to another stream. In this particular stream I will be sharing with you, but guys I will plead with you to cope with me because of the background noise or the music that is being played at the background. Okay, there is a working here, that is. But I believe you take your time. And then note all what I'll be sharing with you in this stream. So the guys are doing wonderfully well. You can check them out. The guys are doing wonderfully well. You can check them out. The guys are doing wonderfully well. You can see them. The week 3 ones, they are doing wonderfully well. And then the big boys and then the big girls, they are also doing wonderfully well. Now, whenever it comes to why it is important to invest into local chickens, it is something most people don't understand, so that affects their decision to venture into rearing of the local chickens. But in this particular video, I just want you to take pen and paper and note this. The first thing you have to note is whenever it comes to raising local chickens or investing into local chickens, you have to understand that local chicken is very simple to scale up. Okay, this farming system, the local chickens, is very, very simple to scale up. Now, these chicks you are seeing here, I've gotten them from just 10 hens within the lapse of just 30 to 40 days. I've gotten these guys from 10 hens. So what you need to understand is local chicken farming. The first thing is it is easy to scale up. If you want to grow your farm, it's easy to grow it than the other breeds. It's easy. Okay, it's simple to scale up the local chickens whenever it comes to poultry farming. Okay, so you have to take record of that, the scalability of this particular business. So let's say if you have 20 hens and then 2 roosters, by the end of 3 months, I can assure you you'll be having over 200 chickens. Okay, by the end of the 3rd month, you'll be having over 200 chickens. Why? So let's say if those 20 hens began to lay, a hen, local hen, can give you at least 15 eggs in a month, or up above that or below that. So let's just assume the average egg we are getting from these hens is, let's say, 12. Okay, so if we are getting 12 eggs from the hens in a month, meaning by the end of the first month, you will be getting 240 eggs from the 20 hens, 240 eggs, right? So if we incubate those eggs, after 21 days, the eggs will be hatched, and then we'll be getting, let's say we'll be getting around 205 chicks. Okay, so you could see that within the lapse of a month and a half into 2 months, we have 200 chicks. And then before the 3rd month will end, you have at least 4 weeks chicks. Okay, over 200 within. So what I would like to share with you is it is simple and easy to scale up a local chicken farm than other breeds. Okay, if you want other breeds, you have to invest into getting them, you have to purchase them. But the local chickens, you just get the eggs, fertilized eggs, and then you get the chicks. Okay, so it is easy to scale up the farm. Okay, that is the first and then the major factor you have to invest into local chicken, the scalability. If you cannot scale up a business, then you cannot afford to venture into that particular business. But the local chickens is easy to scale up. You can see the chicks. I'm doing this from just 10 hens. You can see the result. This is the live result. You can check it out. So it is easy to scale up. Now the next thing you have to consider is your investment, time investment and money investment. So whenever I talking about time, I'm a teacher, so these chickens, I'll take care of them early in the morning, then I'll leave for work. After I come back, then I will feed them again, and then in the night I will feed them again because they are chicks. So I'm not spending too much time with the birds. Okay, within morning session, I spend like 15 minutes with the birds, and then after which I will leave for another work. Have you seen it? So the time I'm investing into these guys is something minimal. So the time you spend with a poultry farm is very, very important. So you could see that the time you spend with local chickens is minimal. Why? Because local chickens can adapt to a lot of weather conditions. Okay, they can adapt to disease, they can resist disease. So you don't worry about the chicks too much. Okay, even though they also fall prey to diseases, but they can resist diseases, so you don't need too much attention. But whenever it comes to other breeds, you must pay close attention, very close attention to the other breeds, which the local chickens give you that kind of freedom. Okay, so the time input on the side of you, the farmer, is something limited. And whenever it comes to the other investments like feed, local chickens, they don't consume as much as like the exotic breeds, the layers and then the broilers. These guys, their total number is 87, and then we lost one, so currently they are 86. Currently, from the start, I spend like a bag of feed from day old till week 5. Into week 6, I spend like a bag. Okay, so they are now taking their second bag of feed, or their third bag, sorry. They are now into their third bag of feed. So from day old till now, I just spend around 80 to 90 kilograms of feed, and then you can see them. So if we've done the math, even if I'm reselling these birds, I'm going to make profit over 100% return on this particular birds. Okay, so the investment on the side of you making a very good return is there because they don't consume as much as the other breeds. So that is the next thing you have to consider. And then the next thing you have to consider is the medication side. So the other investments, if you want to venture into raising chickens, you want to venture into raising poultry birds, you must consider medication. Okay, vaccination, medication, how you are going to make sure that the birds are healthy. So whenever it comes to the local chickens, they can resist disease. They are disease resistant. They can tolerate disease too. So you will not spend much money whenever it comes to the vaccines and then the other medications, okay, because they don't just fall sick. They don't just, you'll not see them, anything small, they'll fall sick or they'll be stressed out. No. Now, whenever it comes to exotic birds, you vaccinate them with gumboro, foulpox, marex, and all these kind of diseases. But local chickens, one vaccination is good for them. The vaccination will be based on the common outbreak in your area. So in my area, the common outbreak we have here is the Newcastle. Okay, the Newcastle, and then that of the CRD. That is the most common outbreaks here. So these guys, I only give them one vaccine, that is the Lasota against the Newcastle. Okay, so you could see that I just spend less money in vaccinating these particular birds because of their disease tolerance, and then they are doing wonderfully well. You can check them out. Okay, so the amount of money you spend whenever it comes to vaccination and then other medications is something not huge as compared to the other breeds. Okay, so whenever it comes to raising chickens, guys, there are things you must consider. Okay, now the next thing you have to consider is their housing, their structure. You could see that this particular cage is made for brooding them from day old to week 4, or we have an inner cage. We brood them there. 2 weeks, we bring them out here. After attaining 4 weeks, they are even allowed to come out. And then the weather will not affect them. The weather will not have any impact on them. So these are the breeds. You could see that the weather condition is not something that can disturb them, and they will perform. Okay. Now, whenever it comes to productivity, That is the next major thing you have to consider, and that is what most people focus on whenever it comes to raising these poultry birds. Most people focus on the productivity. They say layers can give them up to 90%, 95% laying rate, which they will not get in local chickens, so they don't want to venture into local chickens. Whenever it comes to meat, they say, oh, local chickens don't grow fast, they don't attain that size and weight, so whenever it comes to meat production, they don't want to venture into raising local chickens. Rather, they will consider venturing into broilers. But guys, here are some facts about these particular birds, the local chickens. Okay, now the first thing is the amount of money or the return on investment you get from these chickens is very higher, or is much higher than that of the layers whenever it comes to egg production. Okay, because local chickens, they can give you up to 60, 70, 50 laying rate, and then for you to be at a break-even point, these guys must be giving you 20 or 25% laying rate. That means you are at a break-even point. So if you have local chickens that are giving you a laying rate of 30%, you'll still be making money. Okay, 30% laying rate. That means, let's say if you have 100 chickens, laying hens, local chickens, and then they are giving you 30 eggs every blessed day, you still be making money. Why? Everything boils down to simple mathematics: the input and then the output, the feeding and then the output. So even with 30% laying rate, you'll still be making money in local chickens, but you cannot get that in layers. You cannot get that in commercial layers. For you to be attaining break-even point is around 20%, 22%. Okay, so if you want to make higher profit in local chickens, the birds must be giving you at least 50 to 60% laying rate. So don't think that you can make money whenever it comes to local chickens. Whenever the birds hit 50% laying rate, you'll be making a lot of money. Okay, 30% laying rate, you'll be making around 10% return within a month in terms of productivity. Right? In terms of productivity, these guys, with just 30% laying rate, you'll be able to make at least 10% return on your investment by the end of the month. Okay, so it's something you have to consider. Now, whenever it comes to meat production, you know, these guys, you can see that these guys, whenever I show you the first batch, they are ready to be sold. They are ready to be sold for meat. They are ready to be sold. They are now in their entering into their 12th week, and then they are ready to be sold. And then whenever I market those guys, I can get at least about 70 or 60 to 70% profit in return. Okay, 60 to 70% profit in return. I just spent like 3 months or 12 weeks taking care of them. Okay, so when we compute, do the math from day 0 to 12 week, and then we take out all the cost involved in taking care of those guys, we will be making around 50, 60 or even up to 70% return on our investment within 3 months. Okay, so these are facts most people don't know about local chickens, and then they try to venture into exotic birds, which if they begin to raise it, they face a lot of problems. So I'll entreat you, if this is something you want to do, then you have to subscribe to the channel. You follow closely. What I'm doing is something simple, which is replicable in your farm. You just replicate it, and then you see the result. Okay, I've started. Those that are subscribers from the beginning, they have seen the journey where I've started from, and then throughout the obstacles where I've raised these guys from, and currently what we are doing. Okay, so guys, this is what I would like to share with you in this particular video. It's something simple and short, but I believe if you take note of them, you are going to be successful whenever it comes to raising local chickens. Okay, if you like this particular video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, and don't forget, if you are new, use the link in the description to join our Telegram community, and then I'll catch you up in another wonderful one like this later in the day tomorrow. Okay, I love you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye for now, guys. Say bye bye. Check them out. Bye bye. Hello.